Hey everyone, so I realized that I kind of messed up. You're probably sitting there, you've got all of your rooms made for your text adventures, you've got all your objects made, and then you're like, wait, how do I make these objects interact with each other? Or how do I make the objects interact with, the player or the rooms? And I realized that I didn't show you how to do that, and it's not in the tutorials, and that's a problem. So we were going to go over it today in class, but I had a quick appointment this morning, so I'm going to show you how to do that really quick right now. It's actually pretty easy, and it involves doing something called running a script. If you don't know what running a script is just like a piece of code, and you can attach that script to something, an object or a room, and it basically makes it do something. It makes it alive. It makes it interactable. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So we open up Quest. I'm just going to start a new game. I've done this a couple times just to make sure that I knew how to do it. Create a new game, and then we're just going to call this Test 3 at this point. And then it's going to create our new game. Now the first thing you need to make sure that you do, make sure it's on simple mode, tools, simple mode. All right. So if you've learned to use it out of simple mode with all of these core files, the advanced files, the walkthroughs, timers, if you're doing that, that's great. But switching to simple mode for now is much easier. So it already creates a default room for you. I'm going to change the name of that to living room. All right, living room. Then it already puts an object in here, which is player, but we're going to change this to key because we want the object in this room to be a key. So we're going to save that. So now we've got a living room and we've got a key. All right. So a couple things about that key. The first thing we want to do is we want to make it to where the player can pick that key up. So we know that the player is in the living room, but we want him to be able to pick that key up. And the way that you do that is you click on the inventory tab. All right. And then under default behavior, we go to object can be taken. And then we'll leave a message for the user. All right. So the message to the user might be, you have the key. And we'll make them make it look really exciting. All right. So now the player is excited that they have the key. And so let's just try this. Just making it to pick it up. We'll go to play. And it's going to say you are in a living room because that's where we are. And then you can see a key. Well, we could type our action if we wanted to, but the cool thing about text adventures is you can actually click on the object to see what you can do with it. You can hide this as an option if you want to make your game more difficult. I usually don't. So let's click on the key and then we can look at it. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's just a key. All right. Well, then what if we take it? You have the key. So there's the message that we sent to the user to pop up when they picked up the key. So good. So we're halfway there, right? So we have the key in our hand. But now we want to be able to interact with the key. We want the key to be able to do something. So obviously we need to make another room because we want the key to help us to move from one room to another. All right. Now, just as a side note, if you wanted something to happen right when you picked up the key, you could go ahead and add a script right here. Add new script. And by clicking on this and selecting one of these awesome scripts, you could actually have something happen right whenever you pick up the key. For example, game state, finish the game. So let's say that the whole point of your game was to pick up that key, then you may finish the game right here. All right, but we don't want anything to happen when he picks up the key. We just want to be able to pick it up. Now, let's create another room because we want to be able to move to another room, and we'll call this the dining room. Now, the thing about the dining room, though, is it's going to be locked. All right, so we want to create a locked dining room, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. So the first thing we have to do though is to create an exit object. All right, and an exit object in our living room is basically just a door. It's just a way to get out of the living room. All right, so we want to go to living room and then click on exits, and then we'll make it to the east. So over here we'll click on this, create an exit to the dining room, and we'll click create an exit. All right, so now it's actually going to create two exits. It creates one from the living room to the dining room, and then it gives you one back. So now we want to lock this exit. So this is a new object, this exit. So let's click on that. You can see its properties, and we want to lock this. All right, so right down here at the bottom, there's a button that says locked. So let's click on that. All right, to unlock this exit during the game or change its visibility using a script, you must give it a name. So we have to give it some kind of name. So we're going to call this the locked door. All right, and you might want to make this more specific for your game, but I'm just going to call it locked door. And let's say okay, and here it is. Now we are in the living room. We see a key, and then there is a locked door that leads to the dining room, but this door is locked. Well, we want to make that key open that dining room, and I'll show you that it's locked by hitting play again. We can see a key, and you can go to the east. Well, let's go to the east. This way is locked. So sure enough, it is locked. Now we need to make it to where when we use this key, it's going to run a script that unlocks that door. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And the steps that you're going to take to make any interactable object in Text Adventure will be exactly the same as I'm about to do right now. So we'll go to key. We're going to go to inventory, make sure that it's an object that can be taken. Then we're going to go to features. And here's where we want to choose what features do we want this object to have? What do we want this thing to be capable of? Well, we want to be able to use it. So we're just going to select this first one, use or give. And there's other really cool ones that you can use, but we're going to use use and give. So now we have this new tab called use and give. And we want to use the key on its own because it's by itself. We want the key to be alone. All right, we're going to use it by itself. Under default behavior, we're going to put run script. All right, so now when we use this key, it's going to run this script. Click on add new script. And then there's a lot of things we can do with this key, but what we want it to do is unlock and exit. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to unlock and exit. Now you can do all sorts of cool things. You can actually like play sounds or play a video or change font sizes. I mean, there's really cool things you can do by picking up objects and using them. So, you know, if you had your player pick up an iPhone, then you could play a YouTube video whenever they use that iPhone. So that could be kind of neat. But unlock and exit, and we'll hit add. But now unlock exit. All right, so we want it to unlock the exit. But what exit do we want it to unlock? The locked door. So now we have a script that's running that says when you use the key, unlock the exit called the locked door, which is that name that we gave it right there. So just make sure that these two match. And now let's go back to our game and we're going to see if this works. So play. All right, so we're in the living room. You can see a key. All right, well, I want to look at the key. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary. Well, can I take the key? You have the key. All right, so now I have the key in my hand. You can go to the east. That way is locked. Well, then I need to use the key. So click on the key, and sure enough, now that I have the key has a new thing. Remember, it just said look at and drop, or look at and take. Now it has use and drop. So I could drop it, or I could use it, use the key. Now let's try to go east. You are in the dining room. You can go to the west, which means we can go back to the living room. Now that that door is unlocked, we should be able to move back and forth between the two rooms. So that's how you use objects, and that's how you actually make them interactable. So I'm going to extend the due date, probably a week to 2 weeks on this project because I did not send you this, and this is kind of an essential part of this project. So I will definitely be extending the due date. We'll be sending out a more complicated text adventure game for the next the next unit. And then you won't have to look at text adventures for the rest of the year, which could be exciting, unless you choose to do one for your final project, which would be awesome. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this really helps. If it doesn't, send me an email, let me know. I'll do what I can to help you out. But thank you guys so much. I will see you very soon. Bye.